So we've come full circle with a rather interesting and inspiring ending, but with one hell of a punch throughout the episode.
Welcome to the heart of the stories we tell. My name is Rob, and tonight I will be reviewing.
Black Lightning Season 2, Episode 2, Book of Consequences, Chapter 2. And alright, so tonight's consequences were much more in the realm of Jefferson Pierce than they were in Black Lightning, although to a certain extent they were in Tobias as well. All in all, the episode was relatively good. I say relatively because there were one or two tropes that I kinda laugh at. Overall, though, I have to say that the series is going rather strong, and for those of you that don't know, it's one of my favorite. What I do here is I review stories, come up with theories on how and why we tell stories, and give them to you as I can. I've been trying to keep up, but I'll be honest, I've been slacking on my TV show reviews. Click subscribe if you're willing to give me a chance. Now, I always say this is a discussion, and my good friend here, Jeff, has given me some real food for thought, especially with the idea that maybe that former vice principal might be a replacement for Gamby. It's an interesting idea. Partially, I thought maybe she would end up being Thunder or Lightning's version of Gamby, but we're going to have to wait to see. And of course, we're going to have to wait and see what you thought of tonight's episode, too. But for now, let's throw this up there and get started.
So once again, it's stop. Spoiler time. Ba-da-na-na.
Once again, a really strong portrayal of Tobias. Between the teaching the lesson about chess to cleaning up the loose ends, just powerful. I especially liked when he shot the cop right after talking to him so matter-of-factly. So cold, so brutal, so brilliant. Whoever wrote those scenes, all of the Tobias scenes tonight, take a standing applause, take a bow. Those were awesome. But they were far from the only awesome parts. In general, Gamby only got little bit parts here and there, but what little bits he did play were important. I like him already knowing what the power set of the kids are because he was the spotter. I also like the fact that he doesn't have to be front and center to be an important member of the cast. Now, like I said, Jefferson Pierce is the one facing most of the consequences tonight, as we pretty much deal with the whole reveal from the end of last week, which is, hey, you gotta step down from principal. Now, being a teacher is one of the more iconic ways Black Lightning was helping, and the fact that his students really loved him and came through for him at that end, like I said, a very inspiring end, kind of makes it worthwhile. Now, we also have Painkiller back, and with him being back, we have a little bit of, I don't know, miscommunication between him and Jennifer, and it kind of hurt a little to see that, to see the fact that she really didn't want to send him away, but she had to because her powers were sparking up in a way that she couldn't control. That's the other thing. I wonder if they could use, instead of calling her Lightning, if they could use Sparks. That's another DC character with similar powers. Maybe not. The whole family dynamic, of course, is doing pretty good, but it really came to a head with the fact that when someone came in that had the power to force them to tell the truth, they almost came apart. And for a family that's hiding secret identities, you know what? I'll come back to the truth thing in a minute, because I want to touch on something else, still with Jennifer, and that is casual drug use. Now, I'm going to just PSA this for a second. Don't do drugs, kids. But realistically, is smoking pot that much worse than drinking? And we see teenagers drinking in shows all the time. I just find it interesting because back over in Legends of Tomorrow, they had a problem where you couldn't smoke. And here she does. And seeing the vices that the characters develop is an interesting thing, because how do you deal with the powers? Do you go all whole hog and go running, or maybe you become a womanizer trying to just find love somewhere, or maybe you retreat into a bottle or a joint? But okay, I said I would go back to the truth power. And that's a really messed up power. One I hope we see reoccurring. I hope that character's coming up a lot. The ability to force someone to tell the truth. It is both a huge blessing and a huge curse. Could you imagine how many times you tell little white lies? How many times you say things that don't even really matter? How many secrets you hold you wouldn't want someone to hear? I mean, like telepathy, it's one of those things that I don't think I want to know what everyone's really thinking around me. But then again, the truth of Jefferson Pierce at the end was pretty powerful, with that statement we've heard him before: whose life is this, how are you going to live it, and why? But tonight I have two questions for you. One, do you think the fact that they're replacing him with a white principal is going to have a racially charged issue, or do you think they're going to sweep that under the rug? And two, if you had the ability to control whether someone had to tell you the truth or not, would you want to use it? But hey, we've reached that point of the video where all the YouTubers say it. If you liked this video, like and share it, and subscribe. And of course, if you love this video, you could always throw some money my way to help me keep this going. My Patreon is open, and a big special thanks to my first Patreon supporter, Douglas, who is helping make these videos possible as I try to push forward. But even if you can't contribute monetarily, Javon Jeff contributes every week with Black Lightning by telling me what he thinks about my review and about the episode. Join the community. Join the discussion. Tell me what you think, what you want to see, what you don't want to see, what you're hoping for. Is Black Lightning the hero for you? And would you like to see him tied into the rest of the Delaneyverse? But for now, I hope you have a good night, and thank you for walking with me through the heart of the stories we tell.